Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us here in our Riverside office. My name is Martin Estrada. I'm the United States Attorney. We're here today to announce federal criminal charges against a defendant, Ari Young. In September of 2019, Mr. Young brutally assaulted a deputy with the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department. That deputy had been responding to a call about a domestic incident. The deputy responded and sought to protect the victim. Mr. Young did not like being confronted by this deputy, who was a woman, so he brutally attacked her. He punched her in the face, he knocked her to the ground, he proceeded to steal her service weapon. When she got up, he pointed the gun at her, and as she ran away, fleeing for her life, he shot in her direction. Many of you have seen the video of this incident, because it was all caught on video. I've reviewed that video myself many times. I will tell you it is shocking and it is chilling. My office has reviewed the evidence of that assault, and we are bringing federal felony charges against Mr. Young. Those felony charges relate to possession of a stolen firearm and the violent robbery, stealing the firearm from the sheriff's deputy. Those charges are serious charges which carry a potential penalty of decades in federal prison. Mr. Young was arrested yesterday, and he will make his initial appearance in federal court later this afternoon. I should also note that Mr. Young, as a pre-trial detainee, is presumed innocent until proven guilty. Now, many of you are aware that there were initially state charges in this case. There was a trial in state court last year, but in that trial, Mr. Young was acquitted of the most serious charges, including attempted murder. We've reviewed those state charges. Mr. Young received a sentence of only 1.5 years and essentially got a time-served sentence. Based on our review of those state court proceedings, we believe justice was not done in those proceedings, and therefore we are bringing these federal felony charges. When a law enforcement officer is trying to do her job and instead gets brutally assaulted by an individual, it is appropriate that there be federal charges and that we send a message that we will not tolerate this type of behavior. Now, you often hear me say that the mission of the U.S. Attorney's Office, my office, is to protect our community. Well, an essential part of that community are our law enforcement officers. They protect us each and every day. They come to us when we are most in need. They sacrifice and put their lives on the line each and every day to protect us. And that's what happened in this case. The deputy in this case was doing just what we would want, responding to a call of a domestic disturbance, trying to protect a victim, and for doing her basic duties, she was brutally attacked. We cannot allow this. If we as a society, as a community, allow this type of behavior to happen, we are lost. It is important that we send a clear message that these sort of attacks on public servants, law enforcement officers, are not acceptable. I want to thank our law enforcement partners in this case. I want to thank the Sheriff of San Bernardino County and his department for bringing the case to our attention. We did an independent review and we're able to bring the charges here. I also want to thank the ATF, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, for their work in this case and also doing an independent evaluation of the facts and evidence in this case. I want to thank Assistant United States Attorney Lisa Lindhorst, the lead prosecutor on the case. And finally, I want to thank the men and women of law enforcement here in Southern California, but also throughout the country, for the sacrifices they make each and every day. These law enforcement officers care about our communities. They care about public service. They care about protecting us. It's important that we protect them. Now, I'd like to introduce San Bernardino County Sheriff Shannon Dicus for additional remarks.
Martin, thank you. As all of you know, across this country, the rise in assaults on law enforcement have increased. Locally in San Bernardino County, we've seen it with the height being 799 deputy sheriffs that have been assaulted by suspects in the year of 2021. We've had recent incidents happen with our municipal police departments, specifically where a suspect has been taken into custody and they fought for the officer's gun. Up to a week ago, one of my deputies experienced the same thing with a suspect trying to escape while, again, trying to take the deputy's gun. With that being said, I cannot thank the U.S. Attorney's Office enough and the ATF for assisting us in this case. Law enforcement officers can be victims also. And as we described, or as Martin described earlier, in terms of the victim in this case, was a female that was attacked, her orbital was broken, and all of this information was captured on video. I want to thank our district attorney's office locally for using every state prosecution available tool to try to bring them to justice, and ultimately thank the U.S. Attorney's Office for being that backup to law enforcement and prevent deputies like Deputy Forsberg from being a victim. I can't thank you enough, Martin. I genuinely appreciate your efforts. And Special Agent in Charge, thank you so much for everything that you do. Thank you, Jose.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Jose Pedro. I'm an Assistant Special Agent in Charge for ATF LA Field Division. I want to thank U.S. Attorney Martin and Sheriff Dicus who are with us today. Los Angeles, like many American cities and its outlying counties, are greatly affected by violent crimes. This insane act of violence was an example of it. While the deputy was trying to keep those safe at the scene, she was brutally attacked and violently hurt. This violent individual will be held accountable for his merciless act. ATF is committed to building cases against ruthless individuals who have now regretful human life. Just this past March, ATF united with the U.S. Attorney's Office and other law enforcement agencies on an initiative to reduce violent crimes. This is one of them. And this is a reassurance that we're gonna stand with you, not only the law enforcement, but also our citizens of Los Angeles. Once again, I wanna thank everybody who worked hardly and fiercely to put this violent criminal in jail. To law enforcement and the people of Los Angeles, we stand with you. We are committed to respecting and protecting your rights, and we will never stop on our fight to make our communities safer.